So I'm in the Afan Forest Park, formerly known as Afan. There's loads of standing walks around here, lots of bike rides, and there's a bike shop just behind me there. I don't know if you can see it, just in the background. For any bike repairs, bike parts, or even bikes. You can pay for the parking here. There's lots of parking, as you can see. There's also a campsite here. I'm not sure if it's up and running yet, but there's a miners museum, which is excellent. And there's also a coffee shop or cafe which does all the types of things you'd expect for this area. So there's lots to see and do here, but I'm going to go on a short, I think it's about 1.5 mile, 2 mile walk. It's a circular walk, and there's lots of points of interest and QR codes which you can scan along the way, which I'll be pointing out. While there are lots of official walks marked here, you can see a sign behind me showing a few of them, or the directions you need to take to find the routes. I'm going to do an unofficial walk today. It's not marked on any of the routes, but it has taken a few points of interest, such as the old brickworks, the old level. You can see the old railway stop as well. So there are a few interesting points. The reason I think this walk is not an official walk is because you have to cross the main road a couple of times while doing the walk. So there is a safety issue. So you've got to have a bit of common sense. I mean, it is a main road, but you know, it's not difficult to cross, but just have a bit of common sense when you're doing it. And yeah, it's a really nice walk, about roughly 1.5 miles. So you need to follow this route down to start the walk. There is the Miners Museum, and there's also a children's playground here, wooden playground, excellent playground for kids. The coffee shop is here, and you just got to go in the same entrance for the coffee shop and the museum. Also, this is a great area for mountain biking. As you can just see behind me there, there's the signs showing the different mountain bike routes. You can't find them online. So for this walk, basically, there's a few different tracks as you can see here, but basically just keep on heading down. I mean, I'm going to take this right-hand route here, down to the bottom of the valley by the bridge. I mean, both tracks lead the same way pretty much. Just keep on following it down. So behind me are the official walks you can do in Afan. There's 3 really nice walks at different varying levels and varying distance and varying difficulty. The walk I'm going to show you today is not one of these. It's an unofficial walk. I just want to say the walk I'm taking you on is nothing to do with the museum, nothing to do with the visitor centre, nothing to do with the council. So do it at your own risk or your own safety. The reason it's probably not an official walk is because you've got to cross the main road. But you know, you see some buses passing there. Yeah, it is a main road, but it's not that busy really, and if you've got a little bit of common sense, it shouldn't be an issue you crossing the road. So you keep walking down till you get this point where you got the bridge with the main road going to cross on your right hand side. Got the information sign there, and you've got a few walking marking points here. Just want to point out this. So along this route I'm going to be showing you, there's lots of these type signs, and even though it's these signs are done by the Miners Museum, the walk I'm taking on is nothing to do with the museum, it's unofficial. But what we have got here is these QR codes, so you can scan your phone on these QR codes as we're doing this walk, and it will give you information about the local area. I think this one is just an introduction to the walk, but it's worth scanning. I think it takes you up on a drone as a look around, so don't forget to scan these QR code points as we walk along. So just carrying on with the walk, you got this information sign here on the right, and keep following this path. You'll see another sign here on your left for the old brickworks. That's got a QR code on it as well, which is worth scanning. It'll tell you about the brickworks that was in this area many years ago. And as I said earlier, don't forget to scan these QR codes. Videos pop up and it gives you extra information about this area, and this particular one about the brickworks. So once you've scanned that, carry on up this path about 1/2 mile or so, I think. So this is a nice solid path to walk along. You do occasionally get forestry vehicles driving on it, Natural Resources Wales, and also you get cyclists, especially on weekends, especially in the summer, especially when the weather's nice. You do get cyclists going up and down here, so just keep your wits about you. So we keep on walking up here for 5-10 minutes depending on your walking pace, keeping an eye out on the right hand side for this track here. You'll see this sign, and you follow this track which branches off down to a small little bridge that goes across the river, which will take us to our next point of interest. So you follow the winding path down to this small wooden footbridge, goes across a small stream, and a little bit muddy here. And you see the bike track, so this does get used by cyclists, so just be careful. So another information sign, this time about the Cynnan Level Colliery, which is there to our right, the entrance to the old colliery. This has another information QR code for you to scan for more information. Of course, this area famous for its mining. Sadly, all the industry's gone now, but you can learn about it here. That's one of the great things with this walk. There's lots of interesting points. We'll just take a little stroll over to where the old level entrance was. I mean, I've been here lots of times, and the thing that strikes me about this is how low the entrance to that level is. Imagine being a miner years ago, crouching under and going right under the ground. I'm not sure how far it goes, but it probably goes a couple hundred metres at least, if not further, even a few miles, some of them, to get the coal out. I don't know if you can read it. It says Cynnan Colliery Level Abandoned 1956. So once you've had a look at the level, you can come back out and turn left, or you can sit there on the bench, but we're going to go left. There's actually a few benches along this route to have a sit down. I think there's another bench up here on our left. Beautiful scenery, beautiful trees. You can hear the birds chirping. So just to make people aware, if they're not from the area, these signs here, these are warning signs not to walk up there, because that's for mountain bikers. Mountain bikers come flying down there. Obviously that's designed to slow them down, but you walk up there at your peril. So I don't walk up there, because these mountain bikers, they go at a very fast pace, and you don't want to bump into one of those. But we are going to go to the right of that and follow this track up to our next point of interest. So there again, we got another sign warning us that mountain bikers come out of that exit there, so just be careful. Sometimes they go a bit fast, and when we get to the top here, we're going to be turning right. So you've got the option of going left up a slight gradient, or follow this around to the right, which we're going. And there's another information sign there called the Afan Valley in 1913. Bit of information about the railways, the brickworks, the colliery, Dyffryn Colliery, which is further on the valley. And again, we got a QR code to scan with your phone, where you'll find out some more information. Beautiful views from here, see right down the valley. So once you've had a look at this and read the information, scanned the QR code, had looked on the valley, we can turn in down this hill here, which will take us to our next point of interest. So if you don't want to cross the main road, which is the direction we're heading now, to cross it quickly, there is an option of going on this path here. This path will take you back down to the bridge area where we saw earlier on the first information sign, but it does get a little bit boggy, it does get wet, it does get slippery, so bear that in mind. For what it's worth, I think it's easier and safer crossing the main road, but ultimately you know yourself, you know your abilities, you know what you can do, so just do an assessment on what's best for you. Keep heading down towards the main road through this gate, which is left open for some reason, although you can get through there if the gate is closed. It's not a problem. And our next feature is going to be here on the left hand side. So as we're walking down, you notice these 3 wooden posts. There's a path behind it. Just head towards there. I mean, the path is a tarmac path, but there's a bit of moss on it. It can get slippery, so just watch yourself underfoot. Keep on following the path until you get to these spooky trees. So this is an interesting feature. You can see the trees here with this metal cage going over them, bridging over. It gives a spooky effect. I mean, I've walked through here in the middle of the night before. It is quite creepy. It's also an information sign here. I'll just hold it there for a few seconds so you can read it, just about the area and what's going on here. So just follow through the trees, through the spooky trees. Just see the squirrel running across in front of us there. I don't know if you could make that out. So as we go to the trees, there's another information sign here, which is the same as the previous one, but this one's in Welsh. And you just follow this little path. It can get a bit foggy and muddy here when it's raining, and just keep going forward to this safety fence, and here we got the old auditorium, and I'm just going to try and get a closer look at it. Unfortunately, things are looking very overgrown here. Yeah, so behind me you can see the old auditorium. Unfortunately, it's seen better days and it's all rotting away now. You can see the concrete steps there with the metal handrails. So obviously at one point, quite a bit of money was invested in this. It's really sad to see it like this. I think I came here as a kid to watch a show here, but that had been a very long time ago now. So I don't really know much else about it. But I don't know, it's really sad to see things like this just left to rot, really. And if you don't want to walk down these steps to get to the auditorium to have a look, if you walk further down the path, there's another set of 3 wooden posts, and if you walk in past those, that's the main road there that we were walking on previously. There's another set of 3 posts where you'll miss out this scary trees, as I call it. You'll miss out the steps there, and you just walk straight ahead, and the auditorium is on your left if you want to have a look. So continuing on a walk back onto this main track. So that's where we've come from. The entrance to the scary trees is just there on the right, but we are going down here towards the main road. Path down the mountain track, and it becomes a tarmac track until you get these metal gates which lead to the main road. You can see the main road behind me there. It is a main road, but no, it's not that busy. It shouldn't be an issue for anyone to cross, but that's probably the reason I think this isn't an official walking route, is because of that main road. And you know, we're in a day and age where safety and health and safety is paramount, and people are a bit nervous of putting their names to things. So this is probably the reason why this is not an official walk. If you think if it's an issue for you, turn around and walk back. So just head to the right hand side of the gate there, and you can just get around the rocks. Have a little look left, have a little look right. Yep, safe to cross. Then you head up 5 or 6 meters or so and just turn left. Now we can carry on our walk in the beautiful Afan Forest Park. So just keep on following the track down. There is a sign for a rookie mountain bike course here for any youngsters. You can follow that way, but we are going down to the main road. There's another track there which takes on another walk, but we are going down to this main cycle path between starting in Blaenwynfi up top and goes right down to, well, more or less Port Talbot at the bottom. So here we are, just come at this point and turn right. So you keep on going past the bridge, the road bridge on your right hand side. Keep on following the tarmac track. You'll see some turn-offs to the left as well, going down into the bottom of the valley, but you keep on the tarmac track. So keep heading towards this bridge, which you should be able to see in the distance. And to our right up here is Cannonville Halt. I used to always think it's a train station, but it's actually called a halt. And there's another information plaque and QR code there for us, so we'll go and have a look. So I said there's an information plaque here at the halt, Cannonville Halt, but the plaque should be here. It's gone, unfortunately. I don't know if it's been taken for renovation or to be fixed or vandalised, maybe, hopefully not. But yeah, so this is the train line used to run, and I'm turning around and going back under the bridge now to go back to the car park where we started the walk. So I walk up these steps here behind me. They are concrete steps, so if it's raining they may get slippery, or they may get moss on them, that type of thing. if you don't think you're able to climb the steps, then don't climb them. Just have a look at them, assess them yourself, you know your own ability, and if you don't think you can climb them that way, then just carry on going down the track, turn left under the bridge and retrace your steps back to the car park. So once you come up the steps, turn right. Again, this can get a little bit boggy and muddy and wet when the weather's not so good, especially on this section here as you go over the bridge. But I always enjoy walking here because you get a really good view down the line from both sides. So view looking up the valley towards Cummer. Here's the halt just here on our, well, my right hand side as you look up the valley. The halt we were just at, the Cannonville halt. You can just imagine 60, 70, 80 years ago trains trundling down here with coal back and forth to Port Talbot. Down here you can see the steps which I walked up previously. So you can just follow those steps up, follow them around, and then just takes up to here. It's actually just started blinking raining, as it would. So this area might get quite boggy and wet and soggy when it's raining. So just be sensible, wear the appropriate footwear, and you know your own abilities. If you don't think you're capable of walking up some steps and some slightly muddy, grassy area, then just go around the way you came. Just a bit of common sense. So as you're walking up from the bridge here, just follow this path up, and this area does get a bit boggy and slippery in bad weather, so be sensible. And you follow this track around to get this metal gate, and that's the museum and the coffee shop and the parking area just in the distance there. If you don't think you're capable of walking across a road, then don't do this walk, go back on yourself. But it's only a few meters across. It's not a difficult road, it's not especially fast, so it shouldn't be an issue for most people. But as I keep on saying, risk assess it yourself. You know what you're capable of, you know what you're not capable of, just use common sense. So that's a nice easy walk, about 1.5 miles I guess, maybe 2 miles at most. I'll try and put the distance up actually. I should have actually put my route planner on when I was walking, but I didn't. You can't beat a nice hot chocolate after a walk.